Ladies and gentlemen, the obituary is in. October's box office didn't just stumble, it face planted into stale popcorn and broken dreams. Final tally $425 million domestically, the worst October in 27 years. That is excluding 2020. We all know what happened then, right? The last time it was this bleak, Titanic was new and Tamagotchis were life support. What's up, everyone? Critical Nerd here, your one-stop shop for industry carnage and Hollywood's self-inflicted wounds. If you're new, stick around, smash like, ring that bell, and subscribe. And tell me your favorite disaster of the month in the comments. Because today, we autopsy a historic collapse. The studio system is panicking. The spin is hysterical. And audiences, well, they mostly stayed home. Why, you ask? Well, grab your popcorn, which is the only thing Hollywood is reliably good at, and let's dive in. October's domestic haul officially cratered to $425 million. Not counting lockdown 2020, this is a true market failure. The last time October was worse was way back in 1997 at $385 million. And inflation adjusted, that's somewhere in the ballpark, $750 to $780 million in today's money. Translation? Well, this wasn't a slump. It was a bloodbath. Now, what went wrong? Well, not just a couple of bombs. It was a perfect storm of strike-driven schedule gaps, creative fatigue, and a growing disconnect with the audience. October used to be a sleepy breather month. Then, studios realized the lane was open and October became a goldmine. We had Venom, record openings, A Star is Born, Halloween, those were in 2018, Joker in 2019, and even last decade's concert film wave. The month morphed from dumping ground to event playground, which is why $425 million in 2025 is a 3-decade regression and a trust problem. The audience doesn't automatically show up anymore. So why was October such a collapse? Well, let's look at the facts. Remember those strikes back in 2023, 2024, the labor stoppages that shredded pipelines and post windows, leaving holes in the calendar? Case in point, Mortal Kombat 2. It was supposed to be released late October of 2025. Well, it was punted all the way to May of 2026, leaving a gaping late month vacancy. We also had the event that wasn't. Yeah, Disney's Tron Ares, the supposed October anchor. Topped the month, yet still underwhelmed with $63.4 million domestic for October and a fast drop-off on weak word of mouth and franchise fatigue. Big budget, small impact. Then we had A24's The Smashing Machine. Dwayne Johnson's dramatic pivot. Landed around $11.4 million domestic, $19.7 million worldwide. A brutal miss that didn't attract his action base or prestige crowds. Even the niche missed. Deliver Me From Nowhere, the Bruce Springsteen biopic, opened to $8.9 million. Even Die Hard shrugged. If you're already nodding along, do me a solid. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which of these event titles did you skip and why? It helps the channel wreck the algorithm like Hollywood wrecked October. So I'll give you a guess as to who bailed out October. Ready for it? Taylor Swift and anime. Yeah, Taylor Swift and anime bailed out October. First, we'll talk about Taylor Swift. The official release party of a showgirl pumped in $34 million in a limited run. Outperforming most scripted fare, people showed up because they wanted to. I mean, shocking. People wanted to show up to see Taylor Swift. I know. Anime. Let's talk anime for a second. Chainsaw Man, the movie. And you can butcher me in the comments if I mispronounce this, but Ray's Arc opened around $18 million and topped its debut weekend. Demon Slayer kept legs from September. Even better, Crunchyroll and Sony ranked among top performing studios of the month. The fan-driven stuff delivered hype, escapism, and community. Exactly what Hollywood refuses to prioritize. This isn't a fluke. It's a message audiences want: celebration, not lectures. Fun, not homework. The bigger picture is how we got here in the first place. Well, we got to take a look at a little history lesson for you folks. October has soared when studios took interesting risks. 2018's record month, 2019's Joker, 2021 rebound pockets, 2023's concert film surge, 2025's $425 million underscores the flip side. Play it safe, plus a thin slate equals empty seats. Now, we can't discount those self-inflicted wounds. No, we can't ignore those. Punting tentpoles like Mortal Kombat 2 without backfill invited disaster. The fall momentum was already weak after August and September. October just made it official. Analysts bluntly framed it. Scarcity of product plus event pics not connecting equals a disastrous October. Now, why does this matter? Well, studios compress into summer and holidays, so there's a risk of cannibalization. When that happens, theaters lose revenue. Fewer screens, fewer chances for indies. Executives, they chase guarantees. They take fewer risks. And because of that, you get blander output. And it's basically becomes a feedback loop over and over and over again. So here's the year-to-date reality check. 1st of November, 2025. The year started plus 20% versus 2024. Now it's plus somewhere 3.5% and fading. Meaning a soft holiday could put 2025 below 2024. So the stakes? Yeah, the stakes are real. Now, audiences aren't dumb. They can smell pandering and box checking. The ask is very simple. Earn the ticket. Yeah, that's the line. Got to credit Geeks and Gamers for that one. Earn the ticket. Which brings us to holiday season gambles. One of the save the year plays, Wicked for Good, is already being framed in press chatter as a political allegory. Regardless of your politics, branding a 4-quadrant musical as homework is a choice. And it ignores October's message: people want escapism. ComScore's Paul DeGarabedian puts it plainly. The audience is waiting for a reason to believe again. And he's non-committal that the holidays will automatically save the year. There are many variables. Well, that translates to there are no guarantees. So what do we need to watch for next? Well, the holiday slate, how it performs. Can November, December claw back trust? And more importantly for the studio's revenue. Release gridlock. More punts from fall equals overcrowded holidays. Then you got the marketing pivots. Expect wild tactics. Expect overpromises. And then you got the anime concert pipeline. Watch Crunchyroll and Sony and event cinema. These are the growth lanes. If nothing changes, 2026 opens with a hangover. So, putting this all together, strikes created gaps, the few events fizzled, and audiences voted with their wallets toward fan-centric events and pure escapism. October 25 is what happens when studios assume you'll show up for IP and speeches. You didn't, and that's the entire point. So, I'll ask you guys out there, what did you skip in October and why? What was the last great movie you saw in a theater? Which holiday title, if any, can still save the year? If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share this with one friend still pretending Tron Ares was fine, actually. I'm the Critical Nerd reminding you, Hollywood doesn't hate you for skipping their movies. They hate that you're finally seeing through them. Earn the ticket. Stay critical, my friends, and peace out.